Hello everybody, it's Sarah, and first of all, I am very sorry for not uploading last week. I am currently, well, first of all, I had to prepare for a presentation, but second of all, I am also kind of in a filming slump right now, which is weird because I'm actually reading a lot and usually my filming slumps kind of go in tandem with my reading slumps. But anyway, I'm in a filming slump right now. I have a few ideas of stuff that I want to film, but it's currently just all too much effort. Like everything that is not something set in stone, like a wrap-up, a TBR, or maybe a review, is just too much effort right now. But anyway, because of that, I was just looking for an easy video to film today, and I thought, you know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't filmed an unpopular opinions book tag in a while. I've done this, I think, 2 times before. I haven't looked at my older ones, so I might double up with some answers in this one. But I thought, you know what, it's been at least, I think, 2 years since I did it last, so let's see what maybe has changed and what's new. So let's get into it. So the first prompt is a popular book or series that you don't like, and you know, since this has like drastically changed since the last time I did the unpopular opinions book tag, I just gotta go with Sanderson, don't I? Like, it's kind of hard because like some of the books I did still enjoy on my last reread, other books I just found so many issues with, and so I'm gonna go with not Sanderson in general because my feelings on Sanderson in general are, you know, complicated. Well, on his books, not on him as a person. Those feelings are pretty straightforward, to be honest. But I'm gonna go with The Lost Metal, which was the 4th and last book in the Wax and Wayne series, and it was the worst book that I read last year. And I don't know how unpopular my opinion on this generally is, because to be honest, I've seen like more negative opinions on this book than on most other Brandon Sanderson books. But yeah, it's still a Sanderson book, so it's still incredibly popular, and I just thought it was bullshit. It was so bad. It was badly written. It was like, the characters were horrible. He was, I always mention this, he was more preoccupied with setting up the bigger Cosmere, so, you know, the connected universe, rather than properly finishing the series that he's currently writing, and it was just bad. It was horrible. I hated it. I hated every second of reading it. So second prompt, and by the way, if I'm looking down, it's because I have the questions on my phone. The second prompt is a book or series that many people don't like, but you love. And let's see, I think actually, like, I know there's quite a few books that I have on my shelf that get a lot of hate. Like, one that comes to mind is Juniper and Thorn, but once again, for me, it's kind of hard to say if those books are generally disliked or not, because I see, you know, discourse about those books being disliked, but because the people I follow generally enjoy those books, I only get that discourse secondhand. But I know that a lot of people had issues, where is it, over there, with Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. Similarly, right next to it, or almost right next to it in the same cubicle, I have the Burnt Empire Saga by Ashok K. Banka. A lot of people have an issue with the way this book is written. So yeah, I think those are the 2 books I'm going with, and now my battery is blinking, so let's hope my other battery is, you know, full. So we are in luck. My backup battery is actually full. The third question is a love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you didn't want them to end up with, or an OTP that you don't like. And I mean, I've talked about this, I think, in every single unpopular opinions video. I usually, in most books, don't, like, I don't mind with who a person in a love triangle ends up with, because usually to me it's pretty obvious who they're gonna end up with anyway. And the other thing is, I don't really ship characters that much, and you know, I don't have a lot of couples where I have very strong feelings about them having ended up with the wrong person. That's what I wanted to say. But there is 2 books where, spoilers though, where I did not think the characters should have ended up with each other. First of all, Ava Reid, once again, The Wolf and the Woodsman, her debut. I really did not like the main couple. Like, I thought that it was really weird, like how they changed from hating each other to suddenly being all over each other. I did not think they had good chemistry. I did not think they fit with each other. So yeah, really did not like the characters. I think it was Gaspar and Evike. I think that was the names of the 2 main characters, or the main character and the love interest in The Wolf and the Woodsman. And then the other thing, although I can't even remember if they actually fully ended up with each other anymore right now, but and I read that book in January. My memory is shit, I can just tell you that, but it's up there, I'm pointing up there. In the Girls of Paper and Fire trilogy, I thought that the 2 main characters were really bad for each other and they were really toxic. And even though you could see that they really loved each other, I don't think they should have ended up with each other. Although, once again, I don't even remember if they ended up with each other right now, so maybe they didn't. Question number 4 is a popular genre that you hardly reach for. I mean, you all know I mostly read fantasy, so I hardly reach for pretty much any other genre aside for maybe literary fiction and maybe classics, sometimes science fiction. But to make things a bit more interesting, I'm gonna say, like, for as much high fantasy as I read, and for as much as I enjoy fantasy, and for as much as I used to enjoy YA fantasy, I hardly read any fantasy romance. I don't know why. Those books just don't tend to sound that interesting to me, even though, you know, for some reason in my brain, like, the adult version of YA fantasy, because YA fantasy so often is so romance based, a lot of times isn't adult fantasy, but you know, the adult version would be fantasy romance. But yeah, I just don't reach for it. Number 5 is a popular or beloved character that you don't like, and I honestly can't think of a character right now that I would say I generally don't like. Like, the one character that I can think of off the top of my head is Arya from A Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire. I can't stand her. Like, I never could stand her. I don't like this type of character. Yeah, I absolutely hate her. I do love Sansa. Sansa is my baby though. I love Sansa. I hate Arya. Number 6 is a popular author that you can't seem to get into, and for this one I am going to choose Silvia Moreno Garcia. I have now read, I think, 5 of her books. The reason why I keep giving her chances is because the first book I read by her, Gods of Jade and Shadow, I adored. I loved it so much, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Every other book since then has been between like a 2.5 stars and the 3.5 stars. So like, some of them I had a good enough time with, but like nothing that blew me away or anything. There's one book by her that I still have on my TBR. I'm gonna see how I feel about that book. And yeah, if not, then, you know, it's not that I think she's a bad author or that I dislike her as an author, but you know, I keep buying her books even though her books keep being mediocre to me. And you know, an author who for you writes mediocre books just shouldn't be an auto buy author, to be honest. Number 7 is a popular book trope that you're tired of seeing, and for this one I have like the overly scientific magic system, or over-explained magic system. Let's just go with hard magic systems. I have talked about this before. I am a big proponent of soft magic systems. The reason why I read fantasy is to not have it be scientific to me. Like, I understand hard magic systems, obviously, but I do not like over-explained magic systems. I think magic systems need to have rules, and that's like a big misconception that we have a little bit, I would say, thanks to J.K. Rowling also, because she did not give a fuck about rules. But soft magic systems, they have rules, like they have their limitations, and it's very clear within the text what the rules are. Like, you can't implement the magic system for something completely different suddenly. However, soft magic systems still retain the magic, you know? They are whimsical, they are fun, they are enjoyable. They are so much better, in my opinion, as, you know, not just an explained magic system within this world and, you know, just a part of the world building, but soft magic systems can be used so well for just, you know, story building in general and writing as a craft as a whole. Whereas hard magic systems just tend to be part of the world building and that's it. And yeah, I don't like hard magic systems. I really don't. Well, that's not true. I'm okay with hard magic systems, but, you know, I think, and I 100% blame Brandon Sanderson for that somehow. I don't know. Mostly because I think he's part of the reason why the terms hard and soft magic system became so popularized. But, you know, Brandon Sanderson and Mistborn just seems to be held up so high as like the perfect magic system elemency. And I don't know. I just feel like a lot of authors have started trying to emulate that, like not the exact magic system, but, you know, the hard type magic system, and yeah, I don't like it. Number 8 is a popular book or series you have no interest in reading, and for that, like, it's hard because there's few series where I'm like, yeah, I just, you know, have absolutely no interest of ever reading this, and it's never gonna be on my TBR ever, even if I've somehow read all the other books of my TBR. Even then I won't put this on my TBR. But I guess like 2 series that I would say that about is Crescent City by Sarah J Maas, because I'm just, you know, I've read the first 3 ACOTAR books and I've read all of Throne of Glass, and yeah, I don't like Sarah J Maas for other reasons than why I didn't like or don't like Brandon Sanderson, but that's a whole thing to get into as well. And then also The Faithful and the Fallen. I'm just not interested in anything John Gwynne, mostly because John Gwynne fans are just, they suck. They suck so bad. I'm still gonna finish the Bloodsworn series. Well, I'm gonna read the 2nd book for now, then I'll see if I will finish it. Maybe if I end up, through some miracle, absolutely loving the Bloodsworn series, maybe then I will finish I will start The Faithful and the Fallen. But to be honest, the chances are pretty slim. And the last question is, the saying goes that the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation is better than the book? And, oh, well, I would say, like, for me, I enjoyed The Wheel of Time, the first season of the adaptation, more than I enjoyed the books. But then I hated the books, and, you know, I at least somewhat cared about the show and the characters in the show, and I think the show has like one absolutely excellent episode that I absolutely love. I don't really like the ending of the first season so far, but, you know, that's kind of there because of issues. So yeah, but I think I definitely enjoy the show, or I'm gonna enjoy the show more than the books, unless the show like really fucks up, because I couldn't stand those books, so, you know. Not really a hard thing to do. But yeah, that was it for my like 3rd or 4th round of the unpopular opinion book tag. Tell me in the comments down below, do you agree with my opinions, or did my opinions make you really, really angry? Also, what are your unpopular bookish opinions? If you enjoyed this video, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and also maybe subscribing. All links to my social media, as well as to my book club of Queens, Witches and Valkyries, where I read one Elder fantasy book written by a woman or Czech person per month, will be left linked down below, so go and check those out, and I hope I'll see you very soon. Bye!